Okay, let's see how to start a little game moving a sprite on the screen. Okay, let's see the final result. And here it is. We can move the sprite with the arrow key and also pressing both two arrows at the same time. We can go in moving in a diagonal verse. So this is the code, and let's take a look at it from the start. Let's write it here. And so first we import Pygame because this is the module to create games in Python. Then we go and let me save it with the sprite move to behind. You see that in the folder we got this mega.gif. That is a sprite that we are going to use. So the first thing that we do is to import pygame.locals. And from pygame locals import everything. In this module here there are some variables that are ready to be used. And then the first thing that you have to do in Pygame is to do pygame.init, and then you can do the clock. This constructor here is used to control the frame rate of the game. Remember to put this C here in capital letter. Then we describe, we can make the screen object with pygame.display and in set mode, and we are going to make a tuple here for the sides, that is 400 for 300 for example. And then we have 0, there is the color, and 32 and you can also put the name pygame.display.setCaption, and we call it game. Then after this we are going to put two variables here, x and y, to be the coordinates of the sprites that we will use to move the sprite around. Then we are gonna load our sprite like pygame.image.load, and the name will be mega gif in our example is this file here. Okay, and now we can make a loop. Okay, let's give a variable the boolean value of true, and let's start a loop with while and while loop. So everything will go on forever until loop is true. If loop is false, it will exit from this loop. So we will use this while loop to make the game, and so to draw stuff on the screen and to make the stuff on the screen, the sprite for example on the screen, to make it change position, to move it when we press a key or when we move the mouse, in this case when we press the arrow key. So first thing we are going to do is to draw the screen the sprite on the screen with the screen blit. Let's put the sprite here, that is this object here. So it is the image that I loaded into this with Pygame image load that will create this object, this right. And then we need a tuple with the coordinates that we said it must be x and y. And as our object will not be fixed but will move, we will use two variables x and y, and then we are going to move them. One important thing that we have to do is to look into the list of events. So for each event in this list that we can find in pygame.event.get, here we have the list of event, i.e. all the things that we do, move a mouse, press a keyboard, will be in this list with a certain name that we will see, and one of these name of these variables are in this module, so that is why we have imported it. So if event type, so we are going to check what is the type of event, is equal quit, and this is one of the variable that we imported with Pygame locals. So if the event type is quit, so when we close the window we will see loop equal false, so we will go out of this loop, and when we go out of this loop we get to end the Pygame stuff with pygame.quit. Otherwise there will be problems to close the window. So this is very important to close the window in a correct way. Now we're going to see what are the keys that we are going to use. Yeah, we could also make something like this, or we could also make, let's try something a little different, and let's make x and y equal pygame.mouse.get preset Okay, you see that I made a post about this on my site, how to move something with the mouse, with the movement of the mouse, and we have seen that we get the coordinates with get pos. Okay, so not with get preset, but with get pos. Okay, so get position, and so let's start it again. Okay, so it doesn't seem to work. Doesn't seem to work, maybe because we have to pygame.display.flip, and let's clock.tick, let's put it at 60. There it is. Okay, now as you can see, when I go up, it stops. It stops on top and here. So it doesn't, the mouse position doesn't go further. And you see it's here on the top. Let's close it one moment. And here we can see x plus. Let's do it also with try and error. No. Minus and minus. Yeah. Now it's quite good, even if you see that it doesn't erase the. So we can set visible to false, pygame.mouse. So let's. I don't think we gotta put here pygame.mouse.set visible to false. False is not defined. Because false is in capital. Okay, as you can see now, you don't see the mouse when you are inside, so it seems that you are controlling this little guy here. The only problem is that the screen does not clear, so it leaves some traces here. It's fun, but we don't want to see this. So we have to maybe fill the screen with, if I don't know if this is correct. It's not correct. Invalid rect style object. Yes, because it needs a rect style object. Let me see if here we don't have an example here. And I think we should okay, screen fill. Just to try to see. No, it's not right. No, but it worked somehow, but maybe let me put it here. Okay, there it is. Seems to work. And now the screen is, every time is screened, and so we can move up and down this little guy. Okay, when we are into the window. Okay, now let's close this. Let's save this code here. Could be a nice example to put in my blog. And sorry if I do this live, but you know, why not? So let's give it a title, and let's say move the sprite with the mouse. Okay, I want take it too long and just add my code here. Let me save it so we do it live. So okay, if we don't want to use the mouse instead, if we want to use arrow keys, I must clean this and then let me go here. Okay, and as you see, I made keys equal pygame dot get preset. So if keys, this is a dictionary, so pygame dot k dot underscore left, it will go x minus equal 2. Then let me copy this and go and go and go. So left, right will be +2, and then we will have k up. There is y minus 2 minus equal 2, and k down will be epsilon k down, right this way, epsilon plus equal to, and then display tick, etc, etc, and pygame quit. Okay, so I think that's all. Let's run it. And now with the keys, it's not so interesting like with the mouse, but we can do this the same. I don't know now if I could use both. Let's see what happens if I use the two contemporary at the same time. You can see I can move it around, but the arrow keys doesn't work for some reason. Yeah. So for some reason this overrides this, maybe. Okay, so if you want to use one, you cannot use the other at the same time in this way. Maybe there is another way to make it. Let me see if I go. See, the mouse doesn't work and the arrow keys works. So I think that's all. And let me just say that the next time we'll try something different. And from now, that's all.